The member for Lingiara.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Mr Speaker, I beg your pardon. I rise to talk about my mate Pat Dodson, who, as we now know, has been nominated by the Labor Party to fill the casual vacancy as a result of resignation from the Senate. I want to talk about Pat for a number of reasons, not the least of which he is my mate. And I used to. It's a good reason, and I used to work for him, and he happens to be the godfather of our eldest daughter. So we go back a long way. And Pat is an extraordinary individual, and someone I think we're going to be very proud of as he serves in this parliament. And from very humble beginnings on the banks of the Katherine River, effectively, sent away to boarding school at the age of 13 after becoming orphaned by his sisters, sent him away to Monterey in Victoria, to becoming the first Aboriginal Catholic priest in the country, to working at the Central Land Council starting in 1981, which is when I first met Pat. I was then working with Nugget Coombs at the Australian National University, and then later I went to work for Pat as his policy advisor. And that was immediately prior to me entering the Parliament. So it's sort of cyclical. So I was employed by Pat when I entered Parliament, and now I hope to work with Pat as he enters the Parliament as a member of the Senate. And he has, by any measure, made already a tremendous impact on the Australian community, on the Australian society. He has many, many accolades, and too many for me to mention here. But just to say to the Australian Labor Party, I'm very proud of what's happened now. This could have been an issue which might have met some obduracy from some resistance. But in fact, we've seen now the Labor Party say to Bill Shorten, this was a magnificent thing you've done, a really good choice. And we had last night the Admin Committee, the West Australian branch of the Labor Party, unanimously endorsed Pat to fill the casual vacancy. Now that's no mean thing. That's no mean thing. And it is very important that we see him in the role in which he wants to play. Beyond just the sort of normal party conflict that happens in this place, to work across the Parliament with all of us engaged, to deal with issues of national and indeed international importance. Now, we don't often get people of such stature in this place. In fact, a very rare occasion. He's not some 30-year-old. He's a mature-aged gent, if I might describe it like that, close to my own age, I might say. And he will bring here much wisdom. And for that we can be incredibly grateful. And I note there have been many comments made about Pat over the years, but I note one from when he's awarded his honorary doctorate at the University of Melbourne. The awarding of the degree statement said, and I quote, "Patrick Dodson has taught the Australian community that reconciliation is not an elusive ideal but a practical achievable reality for the future of our continent and all its peoples." And Bill Shorten, when talking about Pat and announcing his proposal to appoint him as our candidate, he described him as a truth teller, a powerful advocate for recognition, justice, equality and fairness for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. His advocacy and perspectives will continue to challenge all of us to face up to our shortcomings. And Noel Pearson, an eminent Australian in his own right, said, "I congratulate Pat and the Labor Party for giving one of the most important voices of our people a national platform. He will continue to be a voice of reconciliation. A man of such stature should give welcome ballast to our national parliament."
Yes, very true.
Now, Mr Speaker, I think we can all be proud of this.
Yes.
All be proud. This is not just the Labor Party. We, as Australian members of Parliament, across the aisle, should be lauding this appointment and saying that we want to work with you to address those issues of common concern and give away the normal argy-bargy of this joint to actually work cooperatively together. Now, I know we can. We've just got to make sure we do. You know, the conflict which often emerges in this place is often unnecessary. And this gives us an opportunity to refocus, to recast, to have a different conversation, create a different narrative into the future which shows how concerned citizens, as we are in this parliament, can work with an eminent Australian to get better outcomes for all of us.
The member for Lyons.